Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So I saw this from CryptoWhale here on Twitter. The Federal Reserve has stopped publishing the M1 and M2 money supply. For the first time in over 40 years, they've decided not to tell people how much they're printing. This is terrifying. So M2 money stock has been discontinued. This is the first time, as CryptoWhale says, in 40 years that they have stopped letting the public know how much money they are printing. Stephen Buldiep saying they lost track of how much they are printing. XRP saying they're still publishing the seasonally adjusted one. I'm just not sure how adjusted, though. So, yes, adjusted, says Advocatus Diaboli. It's not terrifying if you're in crypto. This coming from Roberts Ozolins. Guys, this is an unprecedented time we're in. You know, with governments just printing money off like there's no tomorrow, and the uncertainty of where the economy is going, how we're going to move out of this. Will people get back to their normal lives? Will the economy bounce back? Are we going back to the old system? Or is the old system gone for good? Here's another question. How much power and influence does the old guard have? And are they about to be overthrown? And yes, guys, I know exactly what I'm doing here. I am using a metaphor from this classic bearable guy riddle. You know, the old guard looking like he is about to be overthrown. If you guys are not familiar with bearable guy, boy, do you have a lot to catch up on. I'll see if I can find a relevant bearable guy video that I've done in the past. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner for those of you guys interested. So this all said, Ripple is going on business as usual. Mike Manfield posted this. Together with Google Cloud, we start the journey to the cloud and accelerate our digitization plan. The partnership will enable us to use data in a more intelligent way and speed up the creation of new innovative solutions for our customers. Guys, this coming from Sweden's SEB. They are now leaping onto Google Cloud. They are going all in on Google Cloud, accelerating a shift that will bring a raft of new products to retail and corporate customers based on data, analytics, and AI. SEB's Innovation Studio and next generation banking platform, SEBX, is already using Google's infrastructure and data cloud technologies such as Kubernetes Engine and Cloud SQL. As part of the extended partnership, the bank intends to use Google Cloud more broadly across the group. And just to tie that back to Ripple, back in November 2018, we did catch the news that Ripple partner Swedish bank SEB reveals future use of XRP and xRapid products. So these guys are definitely RippleNet integrated. And we have a lot more of this. Wrath of Kahneman posting this, watching Line Bank of Taiwan go online, a digital-only bank. The Line app, which predates the new bank, is connected to Ripple using MoneyTap. So right here out of Taiwan, Line Bank, an internet-only bank in Taiwan, is set to begin trial operations later this week. According to a CNA report, the trial program will include around 700 employees from Line's 3 Taiwanese subsidiaries. The bank aims for a general rollout next month, contingent upon the success of the pilot program. Let me just go back to this Wrath of Kahneman tweet here, and he retweets out some context back from August of 2020 through developments such as starting connections between MoneyTap and the smartphone payment service PayPay, run by the prepaid charge operator PayPay Corporation, and LinePay, run by Line Corporation. The group is putting MoneyTap on an expansion track. MoneyTap, while cooperating with financial institutions, participating as shareholders, and with Ripple Labs, a partner company. So that has to do with Line Bank. Also, here's some more context. As SBI's annual showed, MoneyTap now connects with LinePay and PayPay. XRP isn't really in play unless crypto can be sent peer-to-peer at some point and cross-border transactions happen. This coming from back in April of last year. It does, however, put a Ripple product at the center of a massive Japanese money system. So we are seeing the connections there. Line Bank of Taiwan beginning trial operations. So I wanted to thank Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. So this is one part of it. Of course, Ripple, continuing to do business despite the fact that they are in court against the SEC. The SEC obviously suing them for trying to sell an unregistered security. But, the economy doesn't stop. More innovations are happening. We're seeing the way we transfer money change. There is an old banking system and there is a new banking system. I think that this has become very clear over the last couple of years. And Ripple is at the center of this new banking system. They already have the partnerships, central banks, cross-border money transfer companies, financial institutions, all very, very eager to use RippleNet. But there's that lingering problem, cryptocurrency clarity in the United States. Well, it looks as though Ripple is in court right now, at least getting clarity for their XRP. And I wanted to point to some articles that really demonstrate how the old guard is slowly losing power over the new financial system. And guys, I just have to read some of these headlines here. Federal Reserve Chairman Powell doubles down on Bitcoin as digital gold. So this doesn't have to do with the financial system in particular, but I think it does give some context around, how the United States government thinks of cryptocurrency today versus in 2017 when Bitcoin was having its last bull run. And, a lot of these organizations just wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But now the central bank boss says the biggest cryptocurrency is essentially a substitute for gold rather than the dollar. This coming from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell reiterated today his belief that Bitcoin is more like gold than any currency. During the Bank of International Settlements Innovation Summit event, the central bank chairman also said the currency was too volatile to replace the US dollar, but he is likening it to gold. He is not saying that it is a scam. He is not saying that it may not be a good investment. He is saying it is like gold, which is a big departure from what these guys were saying back in 2017. Okay, so we've also got this from Michael at Val5 Links. A recent survey of 65 central banks conducted by the Bank for International Settlements found that 86% were exploring CBDC issuance and about 60% were conducting a proof of concept. So, way back 24 months ago, we'll say, we were hearing about CBDCs, murmurings that countries were perhaps going to start looking into them. Perhaps we're going to start floating ideas with regards to, perhaps creating a CBDC. I don't know. It was very wishy-washy. So let me go down here, and it starts really here. Rise of digital currencies with the beer flu pandemic accelerating the trend of cashless payments and governments increasingly concerned about rising popularity of Bitcoin and other private cryptocurrencies. Many central banks around the world are now exploring developing their own digital currencies, or CBDCs. A recent survey of 65 banks conducted by the Bank for International Settlements found that 86% are exploring CBDC issuance, and about 60% were already in their proof of concept phase. So the question remains, is there a CBDC race? Augustin Carstens, general manager for the Bank of International Settlements, said that central banks were not approaching CBDCs as a race. This is a huge step forward. CBDCs is something that has tremendous complexity, and there is one particular issue. It cannot fail. It cannot fail at any particular point in time. Carsten said, what is necessary is just to have a medium-term horizon, but make sure that it's top quality and that there is no room for mistake. You guys have to understand, this is the total international monetary system at risk. Countries are developing these CBDCs based on research, based on other attempts, I'm sure, by other countries looking at their neighbors saying, hey, how's your project coming along? And they want to do it right. They do not want to compromise anything. And I get it. You got one shot at this. If you mess this up, you're kind of dead in the water. The industry is moving so quickly that, it's caught a lot of countries off guard, central banks off guard, and so now it's at their doorstep. Cryptocurrencies are way more prevalent now than they were even 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that governments have to jump, and the old system is at risk. Let's continue on. We've also got comments from this guy, Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belford predicts Bitcoin hitting 100,000. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but Jordan Belford used to be a Bitcoin critic. So Belford has told Fortune in an interview he believes Bitcoin holds advantages over stocks, such as its limited supply, which could see the cryptocurrency reach a $100,000 level. He also cited the increase in support Bitcoin has received from institutional investors compared to its previous bull run of 2017. So back in 2017, when all of us were in the crypto industry, well, maybe not all of us, but the ones that were in the crypto industry were, really championing crypto, and the traditional old system was saying no, fraud, we can't do this. Obviously they have now made a complete 180, including Jordan Belford, yes, the Wolf of Wall Street. At that time, Belford voiced his agreement with JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon's assertion that Bitcoin was a fraud. I don't think it's a great model. This is what Belford told the street in September of 2017, adding that cryptocurrencies would require some backing by central governments. Sooner or later, a central bank or a consortium is going to issue their own cryptocurrency, and that's what will take hold, he said. Belford pleaded guilty to stock fraud and money laundering in 1999, subsequently writing a memoir called The Wolf of Wall Street, which turned into a movie in 2013. And as you guys know, Jordan Belford was played by Leonardo DiCaprio. Great film by Martin Scorsese. What did you guys think of The Wolf of Wall Street? I'm sure many of you have seen it. That and The Big Short are two of my favorite films that have to do with Wall Street, the financial system. Put some of yours down in the comment section if you guys have a favorite. As you guys know, I am a bit of a film buff. I am a writer-director. I am currently working on a feature film right now, trying to get it off the ground in pre-production. But anyway, I won't bore you with those details. So we've got Jordan Belford here, and we've also got this. From XRP CryptoWolf, Federal Reserve's digital dollar push worries Wall Street. So this was the big one to me, okay? This was the big one that really got me to see this point very, very clearly, finally, by the year 2021. And what I mean by that is this. So the fire has been lit. U.S. Federal Reserve's push for digital dollar worries Wall Street. We know Jerome Powell understands CBDCs, as I had mentioned in this article. He understands, or rather, sorry, it was this article. He understands that CBDCs are the way of the future. This sentiment mirrored by many other political figures. Augustin Carstens, the head of the Bank for International Settlements, mentions this. They just had a recent summit over there, and they're realizing, look, cryptocurrencies are on our doorstep. We have to revamp the system. We have to get it right. Yet the old guard is not liking this too much. The financial services industry, braced for what could be its biggest disruption in decades, is about to get an early glimpse at the Federal Reserve's work on a new digital currency. And Wall Street is not thrilled. Let me read that again. Wall Street is not thrilled. You know why, guys. Banks, credit card companies, and digital payment processors are nervously watching the push to create an electronic alternative to the paper bills Americans carry in their wallets, or what some call the digital dollar and others called a Fed coin. As soon as July, officials at the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which have been developing prototypes for the digital dollar platform, plan to unveil their research. So this coming from James Kuna, who leads the project for the Boston Fed. A digital currency could fundamentally change the way Americans use money, leading some financial firms to lobby the Fed and Congress to slow its creation, or at least ensure they are not cut out. The old system does not want to be cut out. And by cut out, I don't mean cut out of the system. They obviously don't want their profits to be cut. So seeing a threat to their profits spells it out right here. The bank's main trade group has told Congress a digital dollar isn't needed, while payment companies like Visa and MasterCard are trying to work with central banks to make sure the new currencies can be used on their networks. Everyone is afraid that you could disrupt all the incumbent players with a whole new form of payment. This coming from Michael Del Grosso, an analyst for Compass Point Research and Trading LLC. Lawmakers, U.S. Treasury Department's officials, and the Fed haven't yet approved the rollout of the U.S. virtual currency, which could still be years away. Nor have they decided how a digital dollar would interact with the existing global payment network, which the US and other countries seem committed enough to digitizing their currencies, and it's making financial industry executives nervous. This I find very, very interesting. They have not decided how the digital dollar would interact with the existing global payments network. Well, guys, we've had the technology for years now. RippleNet is at the center of this. Ripple has already partnered with many central banks around the world. They are already doing this. This is no longer a proof of concept. This is real-world utility in parts of the world. Just look to Japan. Just look to Singapore. Look to Australia. Look to the Philippines and other countries that are already using RippleNet. It's already working. It's only you, the United States, that needs to look within and come to the realization that you have been left out of the party. You're still invited to the party, but you have to make the decision to go. So we're getting these distractions, right? Ripple in court, the plans being thwarted, banks not wanting to be cut out of their profits, and, innocently they're asking, well, we have to kind of figure this out. How are we going to interact with the existing global? How is this CBDC going to work with us? How is it going to work for us more so than work with us? Guys, I'll link all these articles in the description of the video. I wanted to continue though here. Another one from XRPCRYPTOWOLF. XRP can bridge all closed gardens. Kahina Van Dyke worked at Ripple, and when she was hired at Standard Chartered Bank, which is also a Ripple-enabled company, Brad Garlinghouse said that Kahina was only a node away on the network. And now the Bank for International Settlements tweeted this out. The financial system is moving away from closed gardens to working with many service providers in a safe ecosystem. And Kahina Van Dyke is just one of the people on this panel discussion for the BIS Innovation Summit. Notice how they talk about closed gardens here, or walled gardens. This tweet from David Schwartz from back in 2018, and I'll link this full tweet thread, but I just wanted to read this one tweet for you guys. If banks responded by building walled gardens, we'll position XRP to bridge across those walled gardens. If they want one big walled garden to take over, they'll have to be as open as we are. A very poignant statement by CTO of Ripple, David Schwartz. And so what do you think? Is this all coordinated? XRP photographer here saying, you have to be joking me. Great reset incoming. Flip the switch. I'll be fine with that. Otherwise, WTF. Retweeting out that same tweet that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. They are hiding how much money they are printing, guys. and this is not going to end well. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel. Guys, we have to reach 70,000 by March 31st. I'm giving away 2 ledgers, a Ledger Nano S and X, but you got to be subscribed to win. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. A thumbs up's just another free way to support the channel. Put a comment down in the comment section, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.